Hello everyone. I am 70 years old and I want to talk to you about something I spent the first 50 years of my adult life getting completely wrong. I thought cleaning was hard because I was not doing it well enough. So I bought better products. I watched videos about technique. I reorganized my cleaning schedule, tried more rooms on fewer days, fewer rooms on more days, mornings, evenings. And the house remained a place that required a significant and exhausting effort to keep in order. It took me until my early 60s to understand what was actually happening. The problem was never the cleaning. The problem was what I was cleaning around. I had filled my home with objects and furniture and surfaces that multiplied the work required to maintain it, and no amount of technique or product was going to change the fundamental arithmetic of having more things than I had the energy to care for properly. Once I understood that, I stopped trying to clean better. I started removing the things that were making cleaning hard. These 11 removals changed my relationship with housework so completely that cleaning is now done in small, easy increments throughout the day, rather than a project I dread and postpone. I want to share every one of them with you. Thing number 1, items with too many surfaces and too many parts. Some objects are expensive to maintain in terms of time and effort. Not expensive to buy, not difficult to use, but expensive in the quiet daily cost of cleaning around them, under them, and through every crevice and surface they present to accumulating dust. I had a decorative ladder leaning against the wall of my living room, the kind you see in home design photographs with folded throws draped over the rungs. It looked lovely. It also had 7 horizontal rungs, each collecting dust, 4 legs, the space beneath it, and the wall behind it. Every single week I was cleaning something that existed entirely for visual effect and had no other function in my life. I removed it. And the square of floor and wall that it had been occupying became the cleanest and easiest part of the room to maintain, because it now required nothing more than a pass of the mop and an occasional wipe of the wall. The principle extends to anything where the cleaning cost is disproportionate to the value. Decorative lanterns with glass panels, wire baskets with intricate weaving that catches dust in every gap, elaborate candle holders, anything with tight angles a cloth cannot reach without effort. Every such object represents a cleaning commitment made at purchase that is never written on the price tag. Tell me in the comments, is there one object in your home that you dread cleaning and have begun cleaning less thoroughly because it is simply too much trouble? The answer may not be to clean it better. The answer may be to let it go. Thing number 2. Rugs in rooms where you do not need them. I had rugs in every room of my home. The entry, the kitchen, the bathroom, both bedrooms, the hallway, and the living room. 7 rugs, each requiring regular vacuuming, periodic lifting to clean underneath, and occasional shampooing. 7 rugs, most acquired because a bare floor felt somehow unfinished, rather than because the rug was serving a specific functional purpose. I evaluated each rug honestly. The living room rug anchored the furniture and made the room feel warmer. The bedroom rug provided comfort underfoot on cold mornings. Those stayed. The kitchen rug, the bathroom rug, the entry rug, and the hallway rug were removed. These are the highest traffic areas of any home, where a hard floor is faster and easier to clean by several orders of magnitude. Sweeping and mopping a kitchen floor takes 5 minutes. Cleaning around a kitchen rug, moving it, cleaning beneath it, and replacing it takes 3 times as long and produces worse results. The functional benefit of a kitchen rug was not worth the cleaning cost, and the aesthetic benefit was not something I missed once it was gone. If you are not yet subscribed and this is useful to you, please subscribe now. Every week I share practical wisdom from experience about keeping a home clean and organized in ways that respect your energy and your time. Thing number 3. Items stored on top of the refrigerator. The top of the refrigerator is one of the most consistent sources of cleaning frustration in any kitchen. High enough to be out of easy reach, but visible to anyone of average height. It collects grease and dust in a combination that is particularly stubborn once allowed to accumulate. And in most homes, it holds a collection of items that arrived by the path of least resistance and have never been consciously evaluated since. In my own kitchen, the top of the refrigerator held a bread bin I had stopped using, 2 bottles of wine kept for a special occasion that had not arrived in 4 years, a box of cereal that belonged in the pantry, a stack of takeaway menus redundant alongside my phone, and a layer of greasy dust binding all of it together. I removed everything. I gave the surface a thorough degreasing, and I made a rule. Nothing lives on top of the refrigerator. It gets wiped down when the rest of the kitchen is cleaned, not treated as a shelf. Maintaining that rule has made it the work of 30 seconds rather than a project I postpone indefinitely. Tell me in the comments, what is currently on top of your refrigerator? For most of us, the answer involves at least one thing that has been there longer than we would comfortably admit. Thing number 4, objects stored under the bed. The space under the bed is either properly organized storage or a repository of avoidance. And in my experience, it is the second far more often than the first. Things end up under the bed because they had no proper home and the space was available. They stay because dealing with them would require a decision that keeps getting deferred. Meanwhile, the space under the bed collects dust in a deeply inconvenient way. Cleaning it properly requires either moving the bed or a tool that reaches all the way under. In practice, most of us clean there less frequently than we should, which means the dust forms the kind of soft gray accumulations that float into the room when disturbed. I removed everything from under my bed, found storage elsewhere for items that needed it, released the rest, and left the space entirely empty. Cleaning under the bed is now a 30-second sweep with an extended handle duster once a week. The underbed ecosystem requiring avoidance has been replaced by an empty space that requires almost nothing. Thing number 5, excess furniture in each room. I had a chair in my bedroom I had not sat in since the year I moved into this house. For the first few months, it was where I read in the evenings. Then I began reading in bed, and the chair became where I draped clothes worn once but not ready to wash. And then it became invisible in the way that furniture becomes invisible when it has been in the same place for long enough. The chair occupied floor area that required vacuuming around it. It had legs that accumulated dust at their bases. It had upholstery that collected the clothes draped over it and needed periodic attention, and it contributed nothing to my daily life. When I removed it, the bedroom became larger in a way that was immediately noticeable. The corner was now open floor, easy to clean, easy to move through. And the clothes that had been draping themselves over the chair had to find a different solution, which meant I was forced to deal with them honestly, rather than allowing them to accumulate. Please subscribe if you have not already. I share conversations exactly like this one every week because the homes we live in at this stage of life should be working for us rather than requiring us to work for them. Thing number 6, bathroom surfaces covered in products. The bathroom is the room where cleaning time scales most directly with the number of objects on the surfaces. Every product on the edge of the bathtub, every bottle in the shower, every item on the counter must be moved before the surface beneath it can be cleaned and then replaced afterward. In a bathroom with 12 products on various surfaces, cleaning involves moving and replacing 24 items in addition to the actual cleaning. I sorted through every product in my bathroom and kept only what I actually used in any given week. Products used rarely went under the sink, properly organized. Products not used at all were discarded. The edge of the bathtub now holds 2 items. The shower has 3. The counter has what is used daily and nothing else. The bathroom now takes 8 minutes to clean properly rather than 25. The surfaces are genuinely clean rather than clean only in the accessible areas, and the shower walls get cleaned fully and regularly because there is nothing obstructing them. Thing number 7, decorative items on the floor. Decorative objects on the floor must be moved before the floor beneath them can be cleaned. And that floor is almost always the dirtiest area of the room because it is cleaned least frequently. Large ornamental pots, stacked books used as design elements, decorative baskets, all create the same cleaning problem as furniture, but without any functional justification. I had 3 large ceramic pots that had created 3 circles of grime I had been cleaning around for months. Removing them revealed floors that needed a thorough clean, and then made that floor permanently easier to maintain. The living room floor is now clear except for the legs of furniture that genuinely belongs in it. I can clean the entire floor without moving a single object. Tell me in the comments, do you have objects on your floor purely for decoration? Most people have at least 2 or 3 and have never asked whether the cleaning cost is worth the aesthetic contribution. Thing number 8, cleaning products that require their own cleaning. This one sounds paradoxical, but it is one of the most significant things I removed. I had cleaning tools that required significant maintenance to remain effective. A mop whose head needed washing after every use or it would spread more than it cleaned. A handheld vacuum with a filter so complex I avoided using it because cleaning the filter was a 15-minute project. A spray bottle that dripped and required regular disassembly. I replaced all of these with simpler versions. A flat mop with washable pads. A canister vacuum with a straightforward bag and filter. Tools I would actually use consistently because using them did not come with a maintenance burden attached. A cleaning tool you avoid because maintaining it is inconvenient is not a tool. It is an obstacle wearing the disguise of a solution. Simple tools that are easy to maintain get used regularly. Tools requiring extensive maintenance get used less often than they should, which means the cleaning they were purchased to do simply does not get done. Thing number 9, items on the stairs and landing. The stairs and landing are the most frequently cleaned areas of any 2-floor home. They are also in many homes a place where items collect that are intended for another floor and have not yet been taken there. I had convinced myself I had a system, things at the bottom of the stairs when I meant to take them upstairs, things at the top when I meant to bring them down. What this produced was a landing that was never clear and made vacuuming the stairs a project involving moving multiple objects rather than a quick pass of the vacuum. I removed the system entirely. Things either go where they belong immediately, or they are dealt with in a deliberate tidying pass at a specific time of day. The stairs stay clear. Vacuuming them takes 4 minutes. And the mental friction of stepping around things at the top and bottom, which I had so thoroughly normalized I had stopped noticing it, is simply gone. Thing number 10. Products in the kitchen that have become shelf fixtures. Every kitchen has them. The cooking oils used twice a year that ended up crowding the stovetop area. The specialty sauces from cuisines explored enthusiastically for a month and then moved on from. The vinegars, pastes, and condiments in various stages of completion, rearranged in the same cabinet for years without being genuinely used. These products make daily cleaning of kitchen surfaces harder by creating dense storage areas that cannot be easily wiped. And they make it difficult to find the things you actually reach for. A kitchen organized around what you actually cook with takes a fraction of the time to wipe down after meals. I went through every cabinet and surface and removed everything not used in the past 2 months. Not a stripped, joyless kitchen. A kitchen organized around the life I am actually living, containing the things I actually cook with, cleaned easily and found immediately. Thing number 11. Items that create avoidance. This last thing is not a physical category. It is a pattern that underlies most of the previous 10 items on this list. There are objects and areas in every home that have been allowed to reach a state that feels too overwhelming to address, and the response is to clean around them rather than deal with them directly. I had a storage cupboard that had been the destination for everything without a clear home for so long that opening it felt like confronting years of accumulated avoidance. So I kept the door closed. I cleaned around it. The energy it took to not deal with it was, in its own way, as draining as dealing with it would have been. One Saturday afternoon, I emptied it completely onto the floor. 3 hours later, everything had been sorted, kept and given a proper home, donated, or discarded. The cupboard was reorganized to hold only what genuinely needed storing, arranged so everything was visible and accessible. The door opens without reluctance now. The avoidance is gone. And the cleaning around it that I had been doing for years is simply no longer necessary. These 11 removals did not change who I am or what kind of home I live in. They gave me back the time and energy I had been spending cleaning around, over, beneath, and through things that were making simple tasks harder than they needed to be. Cleaning is still work, but it is now honest work. Quick, efficient, and proportionate to the actual size of the task. I want to hear from you now. In the comments, tell me which of these 11 things you recognize most directly from your own home. The item with too many surfaces to dust? The bathroom products multiplying across the edge of the bath? The avoidance cupboard you have been keeping closed? Tell me. I read every comment, and naming the specific thing you are working around is often the beginning of finally deciding to address it. And please subscribe if you are not yet subscribed. I share practical conversations from experience every week for people who want to live in homes that feel clean and easy to maintain. I will see you next week.